yet humble. Have you ever wondered what are those many, many steps of hardship and joy that we do not know of? How difficult yet fruitful is an artist's life? Let's find out this and much more as Sarita Mishra learns from the journey of Padma Shri awardee Guru Aruna Mohanty, an Odissi maestro. Guru Aruna Mohanty is the disciple of Padma Shri awardee Guru late Sri Gangadhar Pradhan. She is the secretary of the leading dance institute, Orissa Dance Academy, Bhubaneswar. She is the recipient of the Sangeeta Nataka Academy Award and the Padma Shri Award. Beyond all this, she is an artist, a mentor, a friend, and a mother to all her disciples. Sarita Mishra is a popular exponent of Odissi dance. She is the disciple of Guru Sri Vichitrananda Sway and Sri Yudhishthir Nayak. She is the creative director of Adhyasha Foundation, an Odissi dance institution in Bangalore. Always in quest to learn and gain wisdom, let's join Sarita as she inquisitively finds the unknown, the popular, the visible, the invisible elements that makes the artist that is Guru Aruna Mohanty.
Namaskarapa, my humble pranam to you, and I welcome again you to this Let's Talk series of Navapallava. Thank you, Shruti, for welcoming both of us and giving me this wonderful privilege to talk to the prima donna of Odissi, Padma Shri Guru Aruna Mohanty. Today, Appa, I have a lot of questions, but keeping the time in mind, I would go for the questions. Those who are, we all are looking forward for answers from you. So, firstly, Appa, let us know about your Odissi journey, and of course, I'm sure in this wonderful journey, you must have faced a lot of hurdles and obstacles. We would like to know about how you dealt with them also.
First of all, namaskar, that you have invited me to Navapallava Let's Talk series. And I must tell you that I am not a good orator. I speak through my body language because dance is something where we speak and we have a lot of chintan in our mind. But on stage, we are so used to keep the dialogue inside that sometimes we find difficult to choose the appropriate word to express ourselves. But nonetheless, today I would like to say that there is a very sad news that our very, very close associate, who is a musician, who is a sound recordist, who is a kind of a sound engineer, who used to record all our dance music in Bhubaneswar, and he is known to each and every musician and dancer and artist in Odisha, Tarakanta Panda. He has passed away. And for us, it's like it's irreplaceable. And since he was a musician, so he was always with us as an arranger, music arranger. So with him has gone an era of our association and our, the continuous journey of an artist. He was very much part and parcel of that journey. So just I feel that wherever he is, he should make music. And then coming back to me as a dancer, as an artist, how my journey started. Like everyone, I was a young girl in a middle class family with 6 brothers and sisters, and my father was associated with all the professional theatre groups in Odisha, like Annapurna, Janta, the Nekamra theatres. So he was a writer, he was a playwright. So 42 plays of my father, Kamalochan Mohanty, was staged in Janta and Annapurna and Nekamra theatres. And I was very fortunate that Guru Kelucharan Mahapatra was also there in Annapurna when my father was the president. So I had the great opportunity to meet all these, great theatre people, musicians, Raghubaina, even Padma Shri Sanjukta Panigrai, and all of them. I used to see them in my house, though I didn't realize then how, what they are and how, they are the stars in the horizon of Odissi. But I used to see them and I used to interact with them without realizing that one day I'll be in that profession and that profession will become my entire life. And I started actually acting in my father's plays as child artist. Even I have acted in few movies where I was the youngest child in a very, very poor family where I didn't have enough to eat and things like that. So I still remember.
To know about, we were clueless about that side of Aruna Park.
Yes, that's very, kind of a important part of my journey, because that acting in the theater and understanding theater technique and the dialogue pattern, how you say dialogue, how you feel, and you hold yourself, and entry and exit, it's very different, but yet it's very relevant to our form of genre of performing art. During that time, I used to see all this, very, very important theater personality, how they used to interpret the dialogue, how they were using the tonal quality, and how are they bringing out their expression through their body and on their faces. Probably that stayed in my mind. And then my father suddenly thought of doing dance dramas using all the, poems written in medieval times about Krishna and Radha, like Manabhanjana, Gopal Leela, Sri Krishna Rasa Leela, Balya Leela, all those things started happening. So I used to sing because I was also learning music. Before I started learning dance, I was playing harmonium and I was singing. So when all this dance dramas happened, I remember those mics which were hanging from the top, those 5 microphones on stage. So you have to go to that area and sing. I used to dance Dasavatar, singing by myself and dancing.
Wow.
So in that time, during that time, that was the system. So we got into that system. And so it kind of opened the doors and windows for me about the Gitinatya format, the dance drama format, and the Jatra. And because my uncle, paternal uncle, he had a Jatra party. So I used to watch Jatra like anything, because every time during our summer holidays, we used to go to our village and we used to see a lot of Jatras.
It is very interesting as well. Yes, I agree.
And I believe my father has never given me a very comfortable life, my own room, my own attached bathroom or things. So those kind of luxury was kind of a dream for us. All me, my sister and my cousins, all of them were staying together. We used to sleep on a chatai in a room, 5, 6 of us. And we shared our bathroom with the people who are working in our house and working for us also. We used to, because there was a government quarter. But in spite of all that, I have seen all these theater people, and I have met Uttam Kumar, Suchitra Sen, and all of them, because my father was also very much associated with Bengal theater. So Utpal Dutt, all these theater people, cinema people, they used to come home. Since my father was a writer and Mayadhar Mansingh was a great poet, celebrated poet of Odisha, he's my He's married to my father's cousin. So they are all in the family. So I used to see a lot of them coming to our house, and till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, they'll be discussing literature, poetry, drama, literary things. So though it is a very humble beginning, but it enriched my experience over the years.
So it's like from your childhood, you were always exposed to good literature and good way of
Yes.
art and
Yeah.
theater and
Yeah. Yeah.
artistic
Yeah.
background basically you had, which
Yeah.
you think helped you to grow as an artist more?
Yes, of course. That's definitely has helped me to understand art from different perspective. And sometime when I choreograph or I try to create something, that experience in theater kind of mm, it comes very handy to think in a particular way.
So, Appa, you have been you have been heading such a huge institution, a leading institution of Odissi dance. That's Odisha Dance Academy, with so many number of students, and so many of them are in the leading frontliner solo performers as well. So, you being a solo performer yourself, being a choreographer, being a head of the institution, managing so many students, their personal issues, like a mother. How do you, and you are a mother yourself and a daughter-in-law, a wife. So I'm quite curious to know that how do you manage? Because at times we are sailing on the same boat though, but still we feel that it is quite tough, and a lot of time we kind of get demotivated. But you always with high spirit and with lot of enthusiasm. How do you? What is the mantra of it? How do you manage?
You know, since I'm talking to a dancer, I'll speak in that language. When you go on stage, right, you are doing a particular piece. You do Rama, you do Sita, you do Jata, you do Ravana, and you play so many characters. How do you do that?
Beautiful.
It's like life is like a stage, and you are there for a certain period, like certain episodes you are going to enact it. So I come from a very humble background, and I always feel that I do not know that how fame and success can um can motivate you to do better. But for us, when I started dancing in my neighborhood, I was very popular because, you know, my mousies and, you know, we call Sai Padisa Mausi to see when I'll be dancing in a very small theater, in six rickshaws will go from my colony. So people will go to see that. So be very happy that they love me. So basic thing is, Sarita, that love is something which binds people from one to another. Similarly, when you play different roles, so when Odisha Dance Academy started, it started from my house in that small type 4 quarter. When my Guruji thought, Guru Sri Gangadhar Pradhan, he thought, how many houses can I go by pedaling bicycle? So it's taking a lot of energy, and he's a very hard taskmaster. So no single class can be 1 hour. It has to be 2 hours or more than 2 hours. So it was very time consuming for him. It was very demanding a lot of energy from him. So he said, okay, let me start some of my students together at one place so that I'll save that energy. That is how in our neighborhood, the first group class happened in a house called Manorama Padi. In her house, the group class started with my sister, her 2 friends, and Manorama Padi's daughter, like that, 4 or 5 of them. And then from there, Odisha Dance Academy started expanding. Then we had a place and we started rehearsing there and all that. But always Guruji used to say do not think this is an institution. Always think this is a parivar. So he used to call it Adarsa Parivar, where all the members are dancers, musicians, script writer, scholars, and things like that. Someone who knows Sanskrit, Dipti Sahu, who knows, she was a MA in Sanskrit. And there are other people who used to do background, like office work and translation, letter writing, this and that. All of them, we become a big family of Kalakar. Always he used to give me one example, that suppose we are 20 people performing in our repertory. So 20 of you, if you go and start your own institution, which you probably will in future, but the small institution is like small well. But if you put all your energy together and mind together, probably you will create a pond. So that pond will definitely put all of you together, and that will be a bigger achievement in life.
Absolutely.
So that is why all our life, we probably believed in his dream. And I remember, Sarita, when there was money, little bit of money coming from the program, Guruji used to say, do you need money? Your father is there, you are, you have a chat over your head, and you are giving 2 meals or 3 meals a day. So rather I keep this money, small amount. He was also not taking money from there. So let's keep it together, and probably we have to have a, small place for ourselves, which we haven't been able to do it till now. We haven't bought a single, piece of land for Odisha Dance Academy. But we used to think like that. So we were not taking money. We were putting it back into Odisha Dance Academy. And what Guruji used to do, he used to scout talents in coastal Odisha. He came area. So the answer. So he wanted that after, where will they go? So they used to bring them here, keep them in dance, committed into Dallas, so that they can have a degree in dance or music or whatever. Name Vijaya Barik, Vijay Jena, all these musicians are very much part and parcel of Odisha Dance Academy. But when they came, they were only 13, 14, 15 years old. So that was the kind of breeding ground for musicians and dancers to thrive. So with that kind of thing, in the big hall, Guruji and all of them will sleep. Chatai and Masari, the mosquito net, and they will all sleep. And there will be a kind of a mass cooking, and they will cook. The dancers themselves or the people who are staying there, they will cook and they'll eat. And sometimes when we go there also, we kind of eat with them. And you must have seen that also. So it was kind of a very different experience. So walking together, if you, like in our Shastra, it says, if you walk 7 steps together, you are bound with each other for 7 janma. That's what's the mantra of the marriage. But here, not only we walked 7 steps, we 7 seasons, 7 months, 7 years, or probably now 7 janma.
Absolutely.
So all our senior dancers, even today, some of them have started their own institution, but this is a big umbrella, Odisha Dance Academy. So I can never say that this is my institution. I can say it is our institution. In the absence of my Guruji, Guruji ka avartaman mein, I am just standing there, and we are holding each other's hand to keep the journey, continuing.
Beautiful.
And another thing Guruji has said, that whatever comes, it has to be divided among all the people we are working together. So in Odisha Dance Academy, one very nice thing happened. The treasurer, Pramod Kumar Raut, who is now the executive of Odisha Dance Academy, 10 rupees also if he spends on something, he put it in the computer and it is in the account book. And it is open to the board member as well as to the, because most of our senior dancers are executive board member. So the transparency, the clarity, and the process that has been led down by Guruji, and that has been kind of followed by us like a Bible. And though sometimes we modify it, we amended it, and so many things have happened over the years when we do more work, that how to protect the music, how to protect the dance, how to protect the intellectual copyright, and all these things which will gradually happen in the process of evaluation. We learn to deal with it. But one thing Guruji always used to say, and I also strongly believe, and my second generation also believe, that if I want to be happy, I should not be dependent on factors from outside. What will make us happy if we will see smile on the faces around me in Odisha Dance Academy? So me smiling alone, me having the glory, me having all the credit, we will not sustain or nourish any member of Odisha Dance Academy. In that matter, Guruji always says, any problem with the community, you should think that it is your problem. Before anyone comes out, you go out and extend your hand. Other people will hold your hand to solve the issues.
Basically, he was kind of a leader who had a lot of leadership qualities, who has taught his students, all of you also, the leadership qualities, how to be a leader in true sense, without depending on others to come forward and you following them. Rather, you are always in the front liner and showing others the paths to follow. So
Another the small thing, Sarita, this fever we called festival fever. Sometimes we were very, very unhappy with him. We didn't have the guts to tell him on his face, but we always used to creep that he's not teaching dance, he's not choreographing any new thing, always running after people, begging, borrowing money for organizing festival in Nimapada, in different district, in Raghurajpur village, in Konarka, in Dhauli, and all these things used to be so busy with. He used to say that should be in 13 months, there should be 130 festival in Odisha. If today Odisha is a happening state in terms of festival, in terms of visibility, then Guru Gangadhar Pradhan should be given good amount of, credit. And he never had any money to do any festival. And he used to beg, he will tell you, Sarita, please come and dance. Jhalam, please come and dance. Sanjunani, please come and dance. And since he was a teacher and everyone knew that he is not making money for himself, all the artists kind of voluntarily, they used to come and perform there. So it started like that. But today you see the seed he had planted, like Konarka Dance and Music Festival or Dhauli Festival. And one is kind of taking its, kind of flight with a group of people there. And Odisha Dance Academy is managed by dancers. And Dhauli, wherever it is, we are kind of trying to make his dream come alive. But I think it has got a lot of best wishes, blessings, and love from people in Odisha and worldwide also.
Right. So, Apak, from here, I would like to shift our focus to Navapallava, that you have been supporting Navapallava and your support is immense as far as Navapallava as a movement is concerned. So how do you see this movement in another 5 years' time, and what do you have to say about it?
See, when this name, you say Navapallava, it rings a bell. It rings a very kind of it sounds like a music. Because when you say Pallava, it's as if it's elaborating itself. And Nava, it's a new. Every time there is an expansion, it has to start with a new thing and then it branches out, it elaborates and it blooms and it blossoms. Similarly, a thought blossomed in the mind of Ashok Jain ji. Why he thought? All of us probably felt like that, but we never took the first step to do anything concrete. Always we complain. Whenever the artists meet, we say ki, there is no money, and we are so poorly paid, and how we are going to
There's
make
no
a
platform
profession.
also, yeah. There is hardly any platform for a lot of
Platform also, and then if there are platforms, some people kind of get name and fame by hosting dancers, but no financial return. So today, when we are all of us, suddenly we got very curious and enthusiastic about creating platform for the youngsters. Even the dancers also, like senior dancers like us, me, Sarmila, and other people in different sales, When we thought of creating a platform, we thought of hiring an auditorium. We thought of light and sound. We thought of doing publicity material. We thought of inviting people. We thought of choosing the right dancers so that who will justify their presence on the platform. All this thing we do. Only one thing we don't take into consideration, that the remuneration of the artist. As if it's the least prioritized thing. Because they are abundantly available and they don't have a platform to perform, and they want their visibility. So we are so happy to see ourselves on stage, that whether someone is taking advantage of me, or someone is doing genuinely, or someone is really presenting me in a way where the doors and windows for me will open, that barrier was kind of started diminishing. So slowly it is kind of, I will do a festival, I'll go and collect sponsorship. Suppose I get few lakhs of sponsorship, I spend some, and then there are a huge line of people who want to dance without a single penny. So it's okay. So ask them to dance. And then there is a newspaper that Aruna Mohanty did a festival, and every year she is doing it. So I am getting my due share of credit. My photo also is there with Sarita or whoever is dancing in the newspaper. And the next day, probably I'll think of someone else to present there. Do I think of that from here, where Sarita goes, where X goes or XY goes? Do I think that, okay, out of all these people, these 5 needs to be, have special focus, so that they go to different good platforms from here, little higher platform, and then they should be groomed to be there in the national pit, and subsequently internationally they can make a mark. How many of us do think like that? We don't. But in the process, what happened, we saw lot of mushrooming of organization and institution and people who started doing this kind of festivals. And I have seen dancers falling at their feet, ki, oh, you have given us a wonderful opportunity and all that. They'll probably not be that, kind of overwhelmed by their teacher's presence or whatever the teachers have done for them. But one program given by someone will make them so kind of, in a state of bliss that
gaga for
completely gaga. So I said, nothing wrong in that. But before you dance anywhere, do you discuss with your teacher? Take his or her permission? And is it kind of monitored by your teacher, from here where you are going and how you are moving in the ladder? All that thing has to be taken into consideration. And another thing, no dancers also kind of take initiative to talk to other dancers and have a kind of a discussion. Our students are dancing and who are watching. Sometime I go to these festivals. It can be my festival, it can be your festival. I'm not kind of selecting any particular festival. I'm talking in general. In this kind of festivals, who watch? The dancers themselves, their students, or their parents, their friends, or some of their family members. and people coming from different places, spending a lot of money, and then there will be 15 people, sometimes 20 people. I am saying, if I am an organizer, I am not paying money to Sarita, I am not paying money to Janhavi, or I'm not paying money to, suppose. But at least if I can manage to get 500 people to come and see them, out of that 500, probably 3 will give them invitation to perform somewhere else. That also we don't do it because we don't spend money, na? We are not losing anything. So I am just hiring the auditorium. Sometimes the auditorium is also for free, and there are dancers who are spending money to come and stay wherever the program is happening from their pocket, and they come in the evening and they perform and they go. So I, being the organizer, I am not spending anything, I am not losing anything. So whether people come or not, how does it make a difference? So I said, let's take some responsibility when we are putting the youngster. See, if your daughter is presented somewhere, so you are saying, you will say, Arunappa is presenting my daughter. How is it different from other platforms? So Arunappa will take care so that people will come and see her. So what satisfaction she is getting? Okay, I am not paid because I am probably not ready to be paid, but at least the effort and the hard work and the time and energy I have given, so I'll be seen. And
it's a good motivation for sure. It's a good.
It will motivate. So that's what it should be. But when that doesn't happen, then we have to review it. That is why some of the dancers felt ki, like I heard someone sold jewelry to go and perform in certain festival. Someone is kind of taking father's hard-earned money, and instead of, kind of supporting the family, she's kind of trying to pursue her passion. And when financial strain is kind of demotivate you, discourage you, then you are very indebted to the person who is presenting you on stage. But in the process, what we saw is a kind of a exploitation of dancers. I won't say generally by all, but it happened to certain extent.
Yes, yes.
So this movement Nava Pallava started with Ashokji and some like-minded people, that let's take it seriously. And when we are inviting a dancer, at least a minimum modest amount, which should not be said remuneration, but token of appreciation, we should offer, where she doesn't have to spend a single rupee from her pocket. But we can't say that we'll be able to offer, in thousands and in lakhs and things like that, but it should be small movement, which probably will grow into a big tree someday.
Absolutely.
But in a small way, let's popularize it. And if Sarmila is doing a festival, Madhvidi is doing a festival, or Sonalji is doing a festival, or to that extent, Jhalam is doing a festival, or I am doing Ratikanda festival, the people we are inviting, people are coming because they think if Aruna and Ratika, they are inviting us, the dancer has to be really good. And when they come and see it, that is how we scout talents. And those talents, then we remember, wherever we get an opportunity, we say, oh, I had seen her, she's really good, we should have her there. That is how.
Beautiful of you, Appa, to, being a Odissi dancer, you never kind of confined your appreciation to Odissi dancers only or to Odissi dance only. Rather, I have always seen you appreciating all different kinds of talents and different forms. Irrespective of their forms, you have been very appreciative of their art and their talent. So that's something really wonderful to know and to follow. We being young adults, we should follow. Here a question comes into my mind as well, that when you are a part of the Navapallava also, so closely you are associated, you are also interacting with a lot of young dancers who are kind of pursuing a professional career, or are willing to pursue it. So, Appa, there is a kind of restlessness I see in dancers today. So everybody is kind of in a, I would say, in a rat race, and everybody wants to come to the limelight in a very short frame of time. So how do you address, because I feel this is a problem and this is a serious issue. So how, as a senior guru or as a senior performer, how would you address to this problem of the young generation?
It's a very deep question, I would say. But let's discuss. In this conversation, we won't be able to find a solution,
Correct.
right? But we can always discuss from different perspective.
Yeah.
See, when you look at different generation, there's a different challenges we face. Like you think of SARS, Kelu sir, Pankaj sir, and Debasar's generation. There is a different kind of a challenge. Their social background, their opportunities, and their kind of moving from the village to city and things like that. So it was quite different. So we cannot compare them with Sanjunani, Kumkumappa, Dr. Meenakshi Mishra's generation, Sonalapa's generation, because their background and their education, their exposures are completely different. So you cannot compare apple with a banana. But in their own way, they have faced their hurdles and challenges. And there were also rat race then. And I believe even during the great masters generation, they never were appreciative about each other. They never sat with each other or discussed. Like I haven't remembered seeing all three of them together discussing something, except Jayantika. So I won't call it rat race. Probably they were doing their own work, but there were hardly interaction among them. Then came the next generation where Sanjunani and Kumkumappa probably worked together because they were learning from the same guru. And then Sonalji came and learned from Kelu sir also. And Priyamadap also had experience with Pankaj sir and Kelu sir and all that. But they went to different streams. Priyamadap went to science and he took a academic side. And Kumkumappa went to civil service. And Sonalji was there in Delhi and Sanjunani was here in it. So they kind of worked at different places and they were concentrating on themselves as solo. Not much group work happened then with them. Subsequently, when the group came, the rat race and this sense of insecurity grew more, I think, because they were kind of working in a close proximity. But when I'm looking at the rat race, see, to certain extent, you can look at it positively. When people are young, they should have this killer instinct to do their best because they're very energetic. There are a lot of, high spirit and high energy, high volume and everything. So they can be really vocal about it, that I want to be the best without knowing what is good and how it can be better, and then the best. And now, if you look at the generation, not only dancers, in every field, in every genre, and in every profession, that is a kind of a rat race. Somewhere it is very spelled out, somewhere it is not, but it is there. Now look at the parents, they'll say, what's the score grade? Oh, 9.4, mine is the 9.9. Look at, there is a rat race between the parents. But how does it matter if you look at it, when they go and choose, someone goes to be an engineer and someone goes to be a doctor, what's this 99 and 99% or 95%? How does it kind of get, translated into success? No. Yeah. You get probably, if you get good marks, you'll get into good college. That will help you to get good education. That's it. But when it comes to application,
yeah,
It's your interest, it's your passion, it's your hard work, it's your commitment, it's your humanitarian, qualities that will make you a successful or nothing.
Nothing.
So the rat race is, if you don't call it a rat race, you call it a healthy competition. That's really nice.
Yeah.
I always encourage this healthy competition in Odisha Dance Academy. Suppose there are 10, 15 dancers in my third repertory group. I'll say, come and watch repertory group. Tell me who is attracting your attention. Then you tell me why. Then you tell me that what should you do to get that kind of attention. So it's like, improving yourself by observation. So day before yesterday, Madhushmita performed. I said, everyone you watch, for other people watching, just, to see a program. But all of you have to watch, because you have to have a feedback discussion where you have to say what you didn't like, what you liked, and if you do it, how differently you want to do it.
A beautiful comparative analysis of the performance.
Okay, so that way you can call it, it's a kind of a rat race among themselves. But I'm not instigating that rat race. I'm creating a positive environment where they can be very objective about it, so that they can, bring out the best within themselves. So that way, this is all right. But in performing art, if you start giving number, a first, a second, that's why I always discourage, do not do competition where you have to make first, second, and third.
Yeah.
You give them title, something like, Nritya Nipuna, Nritya Patyasi, something like that, if you want to encourage them, youngsters. But don't give them marks, because it's very, very relative. Suppose you are doing an abhinaya, I probably liked it a lot. Someone sitting next to me, probably hasn't touched him.
Yes.
So you cannot say, suppose after a program, two people who I am kind of looking forward to their appreciation or any feedback, they just ignore me and go away. You say you are demoralized. But I will ask you, why are you demoralized? There were 500 people in that auditorium. Have you gone and asked them how they felt about it? If you are not taking 500 people into consideration, why you are taking these two people into consideration?
Exactly.
But if something is coming from these two people as well as 500 people, listen to the criticism very, very carefully and with a very open mind. Analyze it, evaluate yourself, revisit your work. If you think it should be changed, change it. But if you think it should not be changed, go ahead and continue doing it. So the rat race, when it comes to like that, it is like that. But when, as you go deeper, like I'm talking about your generation, you have matured. The maturity is shown on your face, in your abhinaya, the way you are holding your body, kind of transitioning yourself from one point to another point, creating visual images and motives, and creating a joy to watch you. So that is now, as you grow and go inward, you will say you are dancing for yourself. That gives a lot of your happiness and joy to yourself. But if you are sincere, genuine, and hardworking, and very respectful towards the other members of the community, you will find your happiness kind of transcending and touching the people who are watching you. They are maybe your enemy, or they are your supporters, or they are your complete fan club, or whatever. They probably may not like you, but they will have to say, Sarita, you are a beautiful dancer. If they don't tell you also, in their mind, they go back with this thing, Arey, she danced beautifully, yeah. So when you go to sleep, just talk to yourself. I did well today. I should have done a little better. Here I wasn't good. Here I would have done. Suppose you see another, a friend of yours, who you are probably competing. When you see her or him, oh, appreciate it. With Dil Khol ke, appreciate it.
Yes.
So that it will come and reside in you.
Yes, I agree. I completely agree.
Don't go
hold your
down in your own esteem.
Yeah, correct.
And I'm telling you, I'm so appreciative about Madhvidi's work. I'm so appreciative about Sarmila's work. I'm so appreciative about Ranbir sir's work or Kumkum Appa's work. You know, so Madhusmita danced Kumkum Mohanty's composition, Pallavi, Kalavati Pallavi. And I loved it. I told Kumkum Appa, I said, my students learned it, which she came and taught them in one workshop. I said, they are doing it and I couldn't finish it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to show it to you.
So beautiful.
So why not? Why can't we do that? Even if we are competing, even if I'm competing with Sarmila, sometime I tell her, I said, oh my God, how beautiful it is. How could you think like that, Sarmila? And if I can, you know, I'm a human being. So I have all the negative traits also. But we have to try to overcome. We can only do it to ourselves. So that it's a learning process. I'm learning every day. Whatever I am saying, I'm not doing sermon. What I'm saying is this is my experience. Like I am holding a chabuk also. I do that too. I hit myself also sometime to my conscience. Oh, this is wrong. You have been very mean when I talk to myself.
Very nice. It's really nice to listen to your insight of art, and it's a true purpose is solved for this talk. And as we are proceeding to the another 5 minutes we are left with Appa, but still I have some more questions, so I would like you to answer. One question that haunts me a lot, that when you do, everybody appreciates your abhinay, so do I. I personally love the way you do your abhinay. You kind of take all of us to that kind of a situation, what you are presenting. So I would definitely like to ask, when you are presenting a romantic, erotic abhinay where a lot of intimate moments, intimate scenes are portrayed, and a lot of deep love is showcased. So before doing that, do you prepare yourself emotionally, or how do you prepare yourself to present that kind of a piece?
You are asking me something very, very uncomfortable question.
I'm sorry if I with you.
No.
But I really, looking forward for some tips.
See, Sarita, when as a dancer, actually you have no gender. You are not a man, you are not a woman, nothing. You are just a charitra. You are a vessel, where you are kind of storing things emotionally, and you are training your body physically, and you are training your mind to get that connection from body to mind. And this consciousness, you are connecting with the collective consciousness for your spiritual awakening. Okay. In a relationship, especially when you are talking about a romantic relationship, to me, probably it means differently to different people. When we think of romanticism, we always think about sex. Sex is a taboo to certain people. So when they interpret Gita Govinda, they find it very awkward. Right? But for me, when I say love, and that love is of different kind, like a mother's son is also Sringara, Meera and Bhakta and Bhagwan also another kind of, Sakya is another Sringara, like Sudama and Krishna, there's another Sringara. So there are a different kind. So the love doesn't speak only one language. That's the yearning of your heart for that connection. So between man and woman, when we're talking about romantic relations, it's between that what essence of love between a man and woman, when you extend your hand, when you just look into the eyes, when you try to touch him, without he being there also, you touch him at the core. You feel his presence, even if his absence, conspicuous in his absence. You embrace him, like in Gita Govinda, he said that Krishna in Pashyati Disi Disi, he said, the darkness, she's embracing the darkness, thinking about Krishna, thinking it to be Krishna. Slisyati chumbati jaladhara kalpam. So this is a feeling you have. And when you are on stage or you are performing alone, you are bearing your heart. You are not bearing your body. You are bearing your heart. You are bearing your chintan and the personality, the entire persona. So kya saram? When I'm so immersed with that genuine and the true essence of being togetherness, being together and become one, and you merge with that oneness, which probably Krishna talks about it, that Jivatma Paramatma. I also feel that way when physically and I'm in a relationship. I feel it in absence, Sambhoga Singara, Vipralamba Sungara, in any Shringara. I feel that I'm deeply connected. When I feel like that, I get goosebumps. When I think about it, I think, it gets reflected in my eyes, on my face, and like that, without being, very conscious about it. How beautiful it looks, how appropriate it looks, that's for the audience to say. I do not have any clue. Probably, I'm not very beautiful. So someone very senior, that's a different, someone, a very senior dancers told me, hey, when you smile, you look very bad. So don't smile. Always, keep your mouth shut, like lips together. I said, when I'm in love and I'm expressing myself, if I'm thinking about that, how am I looking, and to make myself look pretty, I lose out on the true emotion, which is kind of coming like a storm from within. If I have to nullify it, then probably, it will be very, very mechanical. It will be very, very kind of,
robotic and
technical. It will be very technical. So I feel completely at ease just thinking that this is the most natural thing to happen. This is most genuine thing to happen. This is most lovely thing to happen. And this is how, when I say, oh my God, it's so beautiful, just being with each other. When I said, God, it's so beautiful, that's where I'm connected to the Supreme Being who has created this emotion, who's created this Srishti, who is the Srashta, who's created us to feel like this.
Thank you. Beautiful. So Appa, at the end, I had so many questions, but the time is literally flying. So I would conclude with the question that we as dancers, younger adults, we all look up to you as not only as a dancer, not only as a guru, not only as a choreographer, but a dancer, I would say, in very simple language. My English is not great, so simple language, kind of a complete package. Okay. So you are like able to do everything, and you are educating also your students to be complete in all other aspects along with dancing. So which is a true sense of mentorship, I would say, true sense of guidance that we all need as a dancer, and especially when we are growing. What would be your message to dancers of our generation who are not in the young series of dancers, not in the adult group? So we are like young adult, as you said the other day, we are like young adult. So what would you say about?
See, when I'm doing this Udayaraga series during this pandemic situation, why I started with Udayaraga series, because everyone is kind of feeling little discouraged with not connected with their teachers, with the dance schools, with the auditorium closed, and the bells are not ringing in their mind, and things like that. The gurus are silent, and this and that. I just wanted them to stay connected with the dance by the watching, by performing, and by practicing to be performing for the Udaraka and all that. But I also told them that my dancers, I said, you should announce, you should go and sit when the recording is happening. You should go and sit in the editing, do subtitling. So all this allied work which the dancers should learn to be able to look after all the aspects of the presentation. So I made them work for it. I said, create a clipping with all this dancer for this month. So all our dancers are doing. So I tell them that do your own costume, go and find the kapda and try to do the matchmaking and do this handloom, warped, webbed, and how it happens. Go to the loom and see and tell them this is the design we want to replicate. Not so much a big border, small border, and the kumbha, what should be the size. So I involve them in all this allied aspect of the performance. So, and they have to write their own thing. They have to write about other people's biodata and edit it and all that. So I think you people, the young adults, should know how to do music editing, how to do video editing. This is the time, you probably will be dependent on it for a longer time. So you should be able to communicate well. You should conduct workshop. You should conduct talk and seminars, and train the youngsters' mind. And also, you have to be the bridge between us, the oldies, and the younger generation also. And try to learn music also. It's very important for any dancers to learn music. And of course, theoretically, we never used to give much importance because we are always in the rat race, as you coined it. But now this is the time where you can listen to people discussing, collect informations and articles, and can develop your own archive. So the dance will look like any other profession with lot more depth in it, because most of the time people say homa nachuchi to nachuchi mane, it's only physical exercise, nothing else, as if no emotional, no cognitive brilliance is required to be a dancer.
Absolutely. I kind of, my thoughts are reassured by your sayings, that I always feel that a dancer has to be, competent enough to do all these things, and especially as far as communication and theoretical knowledge is concerned, so that wherever you stand as a dancer, at least you stand with confidence, and whatever you are dancing, you are able to talk about it, and you know the details of why you are doing and what you are doing. So it's wonderful talking to you, Appa. And I really wanted to, continue the session because I had so many other questions in mind. But we will catch up with you once more. And today we have to finish the session. Thank you so much for giving us your precious, valuable time on a day, especially when things are not really. You are not in your right frame of mind and spirit, but still you could manage. That speaks about a volume about your persona and how you manage, and your energy and your commitment to the art, and the commitment to people and to all other organizations as well as yours. So
Thank you, Savita.
Thank you so much, Abba, and we seek your blessings always.
Always I am with you. I am with the dance. That's why I am with the dancer. Dance comes first, then the dancer. Dancers are there because of the dance. I am, therefore you are. You are, therefore I am. We are because of the dance form.
True.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I give it to Shruti. Shruti, thank you so much for organizing this session, and you can continue. Thank you so much, Appa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarita, for leading such a spellbound conversation with Guru Aruna Mohanty. Thank you, Aruna Mohanty ji, for allowing us a peek into that beautiful intellectual mind of yours. And thank you for accepting Navapallava's invitation. You've always been a strong support and a pillar in Navapallava's beginnings, supporting us strongly in the say no to pay and perform, and changing the perspective of young artists and how they see our dance field. Thank you so much. Our viewers, thank you for being here. We'll see you again next Wednesday. And also this Sunday, please tune in into Facebook page, Navav Pallava Facebook page at 11 a.m. for our weekend performances by young artists. Support them, and together, let's say no to pay and perform. Yes, so let's pay the artists. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.